Manever I say ma PENDREAM TV. PENDREAM TV there, osia dem yopo.
The morning show host of Pan-Africa Television, Danso, has also come out with a powerful analysis about Nanado's statements of asking the EC to be impartial, which he said is not convinced by that statement. And he also gave us some points to show that maybe it might be a trick to put people asleep. And he also sent a strong warning to the EC, telling her that, or telling the officials that when they fail to conduct themselves war, Ghanaians will show them the power, or where the power lies. So it's better they conduct themselves war. Otherwise, they will deal with them. Ghanaians will deal with them. Which I would like you to join me listening to what he said. It's very powerful. The analysis are accurate. Which I would like you to join me listening. But before we go, this is still PENDREAM TV, the only channel that brings you the best and latest updates in politics. If you are new here, please don't forget to subscribe to the channel, because if you have not subscribed, you are losing a whole lot. You have to be abreast with the current things happening around you to keep you going. For that matter, I urge you to subscribe and turn the notification to all posts so that you'll be abreast with the daily activities. Thank you.
Catholic and other churches with COPs leading them, and I hope the problems about Ghanaian voters register is ringing in their ears. I believe they will be silenced if Nanado, MPP and EC boss plunge this country into catastrophe. Kofi G sent this one. Let me say a hearty good morning to my boss Kwame Danso, who has just joined. Kwame, good morning.
Good morning, bless.
Yes, Kwame is a man who has an opinion, and he doesn't shy away from sharing them. He's here in Saka Salia's stead. I just spoke to Saka on the phone. He said he woke up at 9. He woke up at 9 and realized that it was too late to be on the show. But we are great to have you. At least we do have a full set. But we've been talking about the voters register.
Yeah.
The National Democratic Congress, they have asked their sympathizers to protest against the anomalies that are in the register. So on 17th of September, that protest is happening, which is next week. Your thoughts?
Well, I have always held the view, without any equivocation, that we are a peaceful country by reason of our deliberateness in respect of ensuring that there's some democracy. And democracy, by the conventional definition, does not necessarily achieve a peaceful end. It is the intentional acts and omissions of people we have placed into specific areas to ensure that that democracy is protected, who have to act in ways in furtherance of that democracy. And the Electoral Commission, by the Constitution, is a body in whose office we have entrusted that aspect of democracy that ought to be protected. And when I say that aspect of democracy that ought to be protected, I'm talking about a situation where every Ghanaian citizen, irrespective of where you come from, gets the opportunity to elect your leaders. And that is the only time Ghanaians are able to freely express themselves without let or hindrance. And they freely express themselves in choosing leaders who, in their estimation, will best further or advance their aspirations as a people. I must admit, and I think that it is trite, that all of us are very much aware that where we are as a nation, we've gotten to a point where we need to experience better leadership. And we need to ensure that we act in ways which will protect the interests of the Ghanaian people. So the Electoral Commission, as a body, is mandated to ensure that the true will of the people are upheld through the conduct of free, fair, legitimate elections. Now, in 2020, under the leadership of Madame Jane Mensah, we experienced what has now become an unprecedented levels of machinations characterizing the conduct of the 2020 elections. And indeed, concerns were raised, albeit that the persons who raised those legitimate concerns were not able to substantiate those concerns when they were given the opportunity to so do in court. However, all of us are aware that the conduct of the 2020 elections were fraught with several challenges. Vote rigging, vote buying, snatching of ballot boxes, people dying, and all of that characterized the conduct of the 2020 elections. Now, 2024 elections is an elections that, you know, all of us are interested in, and all of us are not, are waiting for a leader who will come and take us out of this dark abyss. Somebody who will come and change the fortunes of the Ghanaian people. And so we are not going to sit aloof, watch unconcerned, continue with all the rhetorics and the platitudes without demonstrating the rancor, you know, quite forcefully that we feel as a people. So I'm happy that the NDC has been very vigilant in an attempt to protect our young democracy as a nation. Bear in mind that without the eagle eyes of the NDC, all of these things would have gone unnoticed.
Yeah.
That you have a BVR machine that is in the hands of an ordinary person. If I say an ordinary person, this is not to disrespect anybody, but somebody who is not an officer of the Electoral Commission, who has no business whatsoever using the BVRs. No business. But same is in the possession of the BVRs and the BVDs. The question is, why? Why is it that these people that we are talking about, all those people that we have identified as being in the possession of the BVRs, they were not in the possession of sin in 2021? I don't know, I stand to be corrected, but did you ever hear, Gabi, that BVRs were in the hands of persons who were not officials of EC in 2021?
No.
Oh, no, not 20. Oh, what about 2022? Oh, okay. No. What about 2023? So why 2024?
Yeah.
And even the 2024, not in January, not in February, not in March, not in April, not in May, but in the dying embers of the process leading to the main event. That is when you see people possessing the BVRs and traversing the length and breadth of this country. The fact that we only arrested this gentleman and the other people in Sawam and the like doesn't mean that they have not gone to the voter region, for instance. It doesn't also mean that they've not been to the northern region. It doesn't mean that they've not been to the Ashanti region. Indeed, the fact that we caught someone in the possession of BVDs tells me that perhaps in the stronghold of the MPP or in the stronghold of some other political parties, okay, we have people who are unlawfully registering people. That is the only desired conclusion we can arrive at, because as it stands now, we can only conjecture, but we are conjecturing on the basis of that which is which is known to us. And that which is known to us is the fact, which remains constant, that there are individuals who are not officials of the EC who are in possession of these BVDs and BVRs. Look, the EC has a responsibility, and that responsibility is to ensure the smooth sailing process leading to the election of a leader, which leader is a true reflection of the will of the Ghanaian people.
Yeah.
Apart from that, the EC has would have misconducted itself. So I am happy that the NDC is acting in the best interest of the Ghanaian people by ensuring that they put the EC to strict accountability. And that is what they are doing. So if the NDC today is saying that on the basis of the exposés, if you like, or on the basis of the knowledge that some BVDs and BVRs are in the possession of people, we want a forensic audit to be conducted so that in the final analysis, we will go into the election with clear conscience, knowing that the EC or the what's it called, the register is cleansed of all persons who are not supposed to be on the register to vote and to vote in the 2024 elections. What is wrong with it? I am very happy that the NDC is doing that. I am also very happy that the NDC called for a live telecast. Okay? So that the Ghanaian people will follow the conversations that will ensue between the NDC and the EC in relation to that which we have come to know, that the BVBs and the BVRs are. So we need a proper forensic audit. We need to audit the machines. We need to audit the register so that all of us will be happy. Recently, you recall that when people were going to verify and check where they are going to vote, you realize that some people were transferred without their knowledge.
Yeah.
They were transferred without their knowledge. So imagine the chaos that would have characterized the elections in the event that that had not been identified and people went to their polling stations in the belief that their names were there and they were going to cast their ballot. Imagine the chaos that would have happened. Why do we want to deliberately plunge this country into chaos? Why? So I am for the demonstration, particularly also because the Constitution enjoins us to demonstrate our displeasures in the event that there are some actions and omissions which contravenes the legitimate flow of events, particularly elections in this country or the conduct of CM in this country. So I am happy that the NDC is doing that, and I wish them well. And indeed, if need be, all of us are going to join, because this is our fundamental right given to us by the Constitution, and we must exercise same. So I support it, and I think that all well-meaning Ghanaians who have the interests of this nation at heart, and who by all means would want to ensure that there is this continuation of the democracy that we're enjoying, to partake in the process. It doesn't matter. Even if you are in MPP and you are aggrieved by the actions and the omissions of the EC, you should be part of this demonstration. I don't think that must be reduced to an NDC exercise. It must be an exercise that will, be an embodiment of all persons who are not happy with what is happening in this country. And in the final analysis, peace and democracy would have been the ultimate victors. And that is exactly what we must all do. Whether you are CPP, as we have the CPP General Secretary here, whether you are PNC, as you have my brother Audi Shak winning the General Secretary position, or Bernard Mona being the flag bearer, if you are Movement for Change, Honorable Alan Kojo Chairman, if you are Mahama, if you are, all of us must rally support and push the NDC to ensure that the right things are done, so that we can have free, fair, legitimate, proper, clear elections.
Right. We'll still stay on the Electoral Commission, because at the RAC conference yesterday, the president made some comments in relation to the EC. He says the EC must act with impartiality regarding the upcoming elections. He also touched on the declaration of the results, where he urged political parties to not put it upon themselves to declare the results before the Electoral Commission, but they should allow the Electoral Commission to do the declaration. But there are scores of our viewers watching on YouTube. Let me extend heartfelt felicitations to all of you, those of you, Earthly Child and Kobina Sego. Let me take time to read some of your messages. This one here says that it's an insult on the sensibilities of Ghanaians for Akufo-Addo to propose private schools to Ghanaians who complain about the quality of the free senior high school program. He has continuously disrespected Ghanaians. And this one here says, Ghanaians should be ready for what's ahead. For what is ahead is bigger than we have ever seen or heard. Okay, the remaining parts of the message I cannot read, unfortunately. But we are still staying on the Electoral Commission. The President, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, he has been making some comments. And he says that we should allow the EC to declare results. The EC should be impartial, and a whole lot of things that they should act with impartiality in order to engender confidence in the commission. Does this come as a surprise to you?
First of all, let me extend a voice of greetings to all my colleague lawyers who are in the Ashanti region. I'll join them later today.
Sure.
And say that it was well organized. And let me also commend the outgoing president of the Ghana Bar Association for such erudite speech yesterday. I loved it. I really did love it. For the first time in the history of Ghana Bar Association, a lot of my colleagues have come to the conclusion that it appeared very patriotic. And some were even saying that, hey, the guy is preaching NDC manifesto for the first time. You know, but it's not about preaching NDC manifesto. It's just a demonstration of where we are as a country and the fact that you can no longer hide the truth. You see, you can't hide the truth. You understand? You will be forced to speak the truth. Do you understand? In the belly of time, the truth is revealed. So you can pretend all you want, but when the reality sets in, you will be forced to admit the truth. And that is what transpired. So congratulations to all our colleagues. I'll see them later this evening. But in respect of the impartiality of the Electoral Commission, when we say impartiality, we're talking about lack of bias. When we are talking about lack of bias, we are talking about the possibility that you will be fair in any process whatsoever. And that is why sometimes in court, if the way I know Gabi like this, if she were a judge and I appear before her, she would have to recuse herself, because the perception would be that she would not be able to dispense with justice fairly or equitably. So she would have to recuse herself. But it is born out of a certain relationship between myself and Gabi. So Gabi could be my sister, Gabi could be my best friend. So on the basis of that, I say, oh Gabi, this one, you have to recuse yourself. In fact, Gabi herself will recuse herself because she knows that she will not be fair, okay, in dispensing with judgment. Or even if she would be fair, the perception would be that in the event that she rules in a manner that does not go in my favor, I would be upset with her, our friendship will be mad, and therefore she has to recuse herself. So that is bias, right? Now let's look at bias, or the perceptive principle of impartiality in the exercise of electoral processes, right, conducted by the Electoral Commission. Now, nobody would have had an issue with Jermensa alone, even though in 2020 she misconducted herself. Nobody would have had a problem with her, okay? Because then, over time, she would have come to understand the office that she occupies, and she would have been forced to do things right. And I believe she's going to do things right in 2024. However, with the appointment of known card-bearing members of the NPP, it further reduced that growth that people were having, or that genuine belief that people held that the EC would come around after all. I mean, the final line should come around. But when they appointed known NPP members, it raised a lot of questions. Number one, is it that Jen Mensah is beginning to appreciate the office that she's occupied, and therefore she's going to do what is right and what is fair? And so we need to bring other people who would come in and protect our interests. Therefore, there's the need to appoint other people who are known members of the NPP. See, first question. The second question is it also possible that the appointment of these known card-bearing NPP members will divulge sacred information to the NPP so that they will be able to conduct themselves in that light so that they can win the elections? That's also a fair question. Now, it beggars absolute belief that any sane, reasonable, somebody with the presence of mind and somebody with an appreciable knowledge of events and fortitude in the future will take a decision which is hinged on the possibility of creating a conflagration in the event that that decision, okay, or in the event that the person who was appointed by reason of that decision conducts herself in a way that will not engender confidence in the process. You see, it beggars belief, bless. Now, the president is on record to have opined without any equivocation that he was not going to hand over power to any other candidate except his party, except a candidate from his party. He's on record to have said that. Members of the NPP, leading members for that matter, in fact, ministers of state, cabinet ministers, are on record to have also pontificated that they were going to win these elections by hook or by crook. They are on record to have said that. Okay? Are you not surprised that in a sudden turn of events, the president has suddenly taken a sharp U-turn and is speaking in otherwise patriotic language? Because after the pronouncement that he made, and after the pronouncement made by the agric minister, what's his name?
Brian
Echampo. Okay. The president, in his subsequent speeches, is now toning down. What does that tell you? Because see, in the conduct of elections, you may think that it is only the political actors and players and the political elites in this country who are playing, you know, their roles. But it goes beyond that. There's also the involvement of the West. And I'm sure that they've called him to order. Hey, my friend, stop misbehaving. I'm sure they've called him. My friend, stop misbehaving. We supported you. You came to power. You have goofed. Somebody else is likely to come to power. So, my friend, all these pronouncements that you are making are retrogressive comments, and therefore refrain from them. So the president is now beginning
to tone down.
And that is what became evident when he was given the opportunity to speak at the back of things. That is why he's saying that the EC must do what? EC must be impartial.
Yeah.
But you see, Again, and let me reiterate that mere rhetorics and platitudes does not engender confidence. The actions and omissions of people are what will engender confidence. What that means is that if the EC is telling us, or if the EC, okay, wishes to be impartial in the upcoming elections, then they must do so now. Then they must heed to the reasonable, logical, legitimate request by the NDC to conduct a live telecast conversation, okay, in unraveling what happened relative to the BVDs and the BVRs. Because you see, impartiality by itself is not a destination, it's an enabler. So if you're going to be impartial, you must do X, Y, Z, so that in the final analysis we'll say that, oh, the person was impartial. But with the conduct of the EC, albeit that the president has said that he must be impartial, she must be impartial, I am not convinced in my mind that the EC will be impartial. However, the impartiality will wallow in the face of the very many Ghanaian people who have decided that they want change, to wallow. It will be consumed by the very many young people who have lost hope and are beginning to find hope in the NDC because they are going to vote for Mahama. So the numbers will defeat the principle of impartiality. And I'm saying this, that the EC will attempt to be impartial. The EC will attempt to be impartial. But the numbers, the way people will vote for the NDC, the EC will not, but to remove the cloth of impartiality and embrace the linen of partiality.
Or bias, right.
So that in the final analysis, peace will prevail. Because you see, and let me say this, the way people them are eye red, bless, the way people make aggressive. I've been engaging a lot of the young NDC young people on the streets. You know me, I'm a street boy. Sometimes I go to Agbobushi, sometimes I go to Malam, sometimes I go to Kaneshi, sometimes I go to Fiesta Royale. All the boys who sell, sometimes, oh, Charlie, 10 Ghana, 5 Ghana, I give. And we engage. And they said they voted for Akufo-Addo. All of them. Oh, Masa, I told my Akufo-Addo. Hey, Papa, they were mafia, hey, pal. That's what they say. And if they will tell you the truth, I'm sure they will tell you exactly what I'm saying. They won't. So people make war for this country. And you see, when somebody has lost hope and they have nothing to lose, don't try to fight with that person, because they can kill you and kill themselves, or they can kill you and damn the consequences. And I keep saying that if we don't do what is right, potentially we are creating a national security crisis, because 14.47% of our youth are unemployed, inclusive of people who have graduated from the universities, inclusive of people who have graduated from the SHS senior secondary schools, inclusive of people who, through no fault of theirs, were not able to access SHS or the university, and they are home and they have nothing to do, inclusive of people who, by reason of the wickedness of government, Galamsey has taken over their lands, and therefore they have to come to Accra to come and find something to do, which people would have otherwise been farmers, cocoa farmers. By reason of the fact that because of the wickedness of government, bless, we have lost 67 to 70% of our cocoa farms to Galamsey, because all of them would have been cocoa farmers. So all these people in Chile say, Omo jija, Omo mobo, Omo nyeni daso. All these people are going to vote. Bless. The daughter of the cocoa farmer, who otherwise should have benefited from
that scholarship,
the cocoa board scholarship, or whatever scholarship.
Yeah, you should.
The cocoa
Secondary school. I never saw the cocoa farmers child or that for scholarship.
exactly. You see, the cocoa farmer's daughter, very brilliant, very intelligent, but because the father doesn't have money, they have a scholarship. Who would have benefited? They have given it to their cronies.
Oh.
So all these people, bless, they are waiting to vote in 2024. Bless. They are waiting to vote in 2024. I will end soon. I'll end soon. Please. I'm sure he agrees with what I'm saying. Bless, get fund. You and I know there are people here very intelligent but needy. They don't know anybody, they don't have any links, so they will just go through the normal process of getting support from the state so that they will be educated and they will share their knowledge with the state and they will work in Ghana and develop Ghana. Those people have been denied.
And because they are coming from rural communities, they go and impact their communities.
Bless. So all those people are waiting to vote. Finally, bless. For the thousands of young middle class people who were gainfully employed in the banks, in the microfinance companies, in the savings and loans companies, they were gainfully employed. You see this administration, I don't think that they reason beyond their noses, and I'll explain why. You know the banking sector, when we're in the university, okay, now then I'm sure you would bear testimony. When we're in the university, all of us, in fact most of my peers wanted to work in the bank. Why? Because you'll be easily employed. It was easier to be employed in the banking sector than the public sector. So a lot of the young people who came out from these universities were employed in the banking sector, the microfinance, the savings and loans, all those companies. And what it did was that, because most of those people were also from poor homes, what it meant was that they were going to create a buffer. So they would now take care of their younger siblings through school. They would now send some money to their mothers in the village so that the mothers would buy drugs. They would now be able to also build a small home. Okay, because they were gainfully employed in the banking sector. That is what they did. So it was a cycle. Bless will get a job. Bless has a younger sister, Ohima. Bless will make sure Ohima completes school. Okay, through the small salary that Bless is making. Sure. Now through that same salary, Bless will be able to support the family in the village. Bless will be able to rent a small house, and Bless will be able to marry and take care of his children. So through that, people were okay. Now in Ghana, Bless, I kid you not, there is no middle class. The middle class has been deliberately collapsed by this administration. But the question is why? They want to create a class system where it's either you are rich or you are poor. Something that countries that were suffering from civil war in 1994 are running away from. Something that Kagame is deliberately building. We who built it long time ago have, through our nonchalant, whatever attitude, have collapsed it. So now there's no middle class, Bless. So all those people are waiting for 2024 to make a resounding, vibrating decision. And the EC must be weary, must be warned, must be advised that the anger that is in this country right now. Bless, yesterday somebody sent me, and I'll end so that senior will come in. Yesterday somebody sent me, in fact not just somebody, my wife's uncle sent me I don't know whether it's a flyer or something, but that KK now is 7 Ghana cedis. I'll share with you. A bowl of KK is now 7 Ghana cedis. You know I don't like my KK with green pepper, right? Right now, they don't give you red pepper anymore. They give you green pepper. Because now you have to buy the red pepper. Bless, in my area, if you don't know you want to do tuno, to say you want to eat KK with this fish and shrimps and things, Bless, you won't spend less than 100 Ghana cedis. You won't spend less than 100 Ghana because fish is very expensive now.
That's true. Very, very expensive.
Bless, a basket, you see this tomato that we buy, and I'm told that tomato is even around.
It's now in season.
It's now, I mean, I won't say in season. Let me say around. I want to speak the local language so people understand. They said tomato is around. The last time I went to buy tomato, okay, the woman said that thing is 700 Ghana cedis. And I said, please, will you give me half of it? Because I like to buy it in box so that Charlie said, oh, give me. Because today, the price will be 700 Ghana cedis. If you don't buy it today, you say, oh, I don't have money. You go back and you come, it is 800 Ghana cedis. A bag of Yasmin rice is how much? Now, Gary is a delicacy for the rich. Gary, delicacy for the rich. Because now it's so expensive that if you don't have money, you can't even buy it.
I afford it.
So, all these people, these market women, these farmers, these people who have been thrown out of employment, okay, in the banking sector, the young people who are on the streets, the young people whose lands have been destroyed by reason of galamsey, all those people. And in fact, people who have been haunted by this administration unjustifiably, whose lands, you know, they've been seizing people's lands.
Yeah.
If people have lands in prime areas, they will connive and they will come and steal your land. All those people are waiting. The chiefs, our revered chiefs in the Volta region, in Efutu, our revered chiefs that we revere, we respect, who have been disrespected by the not Dr. Kufado. They are all waiting.
Stand there, get me, I'm coming.
They are all waiting. And then his bodyguard will be using his left hand to address our chiefs. Hey, if the people in those constituencies go for NPP, then they don't respect their chiefs. I'm telling you. Because all those people are upset. Imagine you came to my house, bless my father. You come and disrespect my father in my house. Bless, you won't go alive. I promise you. My father in my house. But Akufo-Addo disrespected our chiefs. Akufo-Addo is the one reason why there is disunity now in Ghana. Now this thing about I am Achim, I am Ashanti, I am Volta is coming back, it's creeping back into our body polity. Something that Nkrumah fought against, something that J.J. Rawlings also tried to protect. Akufo-Addo alone has brought it back. Akufo-Addo alone has brought it back. So we are waiting. We don't want any disunity in this country. When J.J. Rawlings was in power, we didn't have the voter secessionist group. When Thomas was in power, we didn't have the voter secessionist group. When Mahama was in power, we never experienced the voter secessionist group. When the Akufo-Addo came to power, no voter secessionist group.
British Tubula.
So now, because of your own advancement of or the advancement of your own political parochial interest, the country must be destroyed so that you will benefit. You saw Akufo-Addo. Okay, well, I'm told that when he retires or when he's booted out, he will go and stay somewhere in France. So now he doesn't care. But you see, in conclusion, yes.
Oh, even if he goes to Guyana,
he will come to Ghana.
He will bring you back to Ghana.
So you know the things in Ghana. You see, let me tell you, it is not nice. It's not fair. Okay, I'm not for corruption. I don't like corruption. However, you take small and give the larger chunk to the people. This is not me promoting corruption. No. This is me telling you that you are so stupid that you just want to take everything. That today you have ministers who have dollars in their politics, $1 million under their beds. PDS scandal, Kelly GVG, boss contaminated scandal. Kwame Usu, the PPA guy.
Skytrain.
$245 million invested in African games that nobody watched.
Yeah.
$15 million for food. $15 million for food.
4.5.
Yes, I spotted the masses that was used for the all African games with Henry Curtis.
I am highlighting the things that will give people reasons to vote in this year's election. okay, ostensibly sending a clear warning and a signal to the EC that if it fails to conduct itself well, the Ghanaian people will deal with them.
Right.
This is how far we have come today. Please don't just leave the channel without subscribing. Turn it to all posts because we will be coming your way with latest gist in the political arena. Anything that drop, we will be the first to bring to your notice. So please don't log out without turning the notification to all posts or subscribing to the channel. Hit the notification bell. Like, share to other members. Let them know what is happening. Don't be the only person to be absorbing the good news. Let others also enjoy. Thank you very much.
PENDREAM TV now, so far so good. Say open online portal e wo Ghana. Nipa share, nipa follow, nipa comment here. To my best of knowledge, without any biases, PENDREAM TV.